I'm Laura from Garden Sanity, and here's a simple tip to protect your young trees and shrubs from rabbit damage. Use tree protectors. They look like this. They're sometimes also called tree guards. They're plastic. I found these on Amazon. They come 6 to a package. And the only thing you have to do when you get them is they're going to have a little sticker on them. Just peel the sticker off, unless you want to keep the sticker on outside. I don't think anybody does. But that's all you have to do. So they have an outside that has ridges, and then they have an inside that's smooth. One end has these 2 knobs, the other end does not. You can see they have a bunch of holes, and that's because you curl it around, you put this side on the inside, doing this backwards, and then this will slide in wherever you want it to slide, and then you can match the bottom up as well. And then you're able to have this around your tree. As you can probably tell, these can fit a bunch of trees from very wide to, you can even get them pretty tiny. And what's nice is they can connect to each other. So if you have a wider tree trunk or a wider shrub that you want to protect, you can do that. And that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'll show you. I want to protect my Lavender Chiffon Rose of Sharon. For some reason, rabbits favor that. They don't favor our Helene Rose of Sharon, which is great, but the Lavender Chiffon Rose of Sharon hasn't grown so well. It should be much larger by this point. So around my Rose of Sharon, I have daffodils that'll come up in the springtime. And once those come up, they are a barrier and a protector for my Rose of Sharon, which is great. But once the summer came, luckily the rabbits weren't too bad, but they still were around. They didn't really nibble too much this year on the Rose of Sharon. But to be on the safe side, I planted cat's pajamas catmint, which rabbits do not like that at all. I planted that around the base. Now that was just planted last summer, so hopefully starting this year, it's going to be nice and full, and that'll protect them in the summer. But I need something for the winter, and that's where these tree protectors are going to come in. I've already noticed some rabbit damage out there, not on the Rose of Sharon yet, but I see that the rabbits are around. So I'm going to put these around it, and I'll show you how they connect, and that's it. So here's an up close of how the tree protectors look. Nothing fancy. Just put one on top of the other. The part you saw me kind of struggling with is I wanted to make sure I got the branches inside, because this little guy right here, who looks like he might have gotten nibbled at already, wanted to make sure he stayed inside as much as possible. And that's what the inside looks like. So there's enough room around the branches, and I plan on removing these once all the daffodils are up. So you can see all the little green. There's some there. There's some there. So pretty soon, this will all be filled with daffodils. And I'll show you a picture from last year so you can see what I'm talking about. And it should be even nicer this year, since it's the second year these daffodils are in the ground. And then, eventually, these little twigs you see right here, I planted 5 of them all around this shrub, should come back nice and give it a nice summer protection into fall. So this is my new winter protection idea, and I think it's going to work fine. I also put these tree protectors around my redbud tree. I planted this last year as a bare root tree, and if you saw previous videos, it basically was a stick. So it started growing from the bottom, and that's why you see these branches here, and it's growing kind of funny. But I'm leaving the branches for now. If it continues to sprout new growth as the trunk hopefully grows and more stems show up, I will cut these branches off eventually. But right now, I'll take any growth I can get. So that's why they're a little tilted. And then what I also did was I planted hellebores around the redbud. Rabbits do not like hellebores at all. It has, if you get really close, it's almost like a skunk smell, but you have to get really close for it. I think it's worth it that rabbits don't like it. There's also daffodils planted around here, but I thought the hellebores is a year-round deterrent because rabbits seem to like redbuds. I thought this would be a good idea. In a previous video that I did about these chicken wire cloches, you probably noticed that the crabapple tree had a tree protector around it, and I've since added another one, just to be on the safe side. Again, thinking how rabbits like to stretch, and I've seen them do so, especially with our dappled willow. Thought it's not a bad idea to put another one around. As the summer comes around, I'll remove the top one and just keep the bottom one like I did last summer, and that seemed to work fine. So the price for these is $22.99 plus tax. And that's on Amazon. I'll link below in the description area so you can see exactly what it was I bought. I did notice on Amazon they have a ton of different varieties, makers, and quantities, so you should be able to find what it is you'd like. I'm sure you can also find these at home improvement centers as well. Make sure to check out my other rabbit prevention videos, and please leave me a comment if you deal with rabbits. We're all in this together, and maybe misery loves company. Until next time, happy gardening.